The one thing that I would tell myself when I was starting my spiritual business. Hey guys, my name is Supriya Prasad. I am an intuitive transformational coach, energy transmutator, energy worker, Reiki practitioner, and I actually see chakras in people. Yes, I see chakras in people. That is one of my many gifts. I have read chakras in people, so many people at this point. And I actually help people heal through the chakras as well. There's a lot of things you can do with the chakras. Um, and one of the things that you can do is manifest with them. And I actually help my clients do just that. I help them transmute and manifest with these chakras. So today I'm going to be talking about what is the one thing that I have told people that I would tell myself, not people, I would tell myself today if I were to start my business again. So if you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay. Love to see my replay crew out here. All right, what is the one thing that I would tell myself? I would tell myself that you cannot grow or scale your business without first working on your money story. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? I'm going to give you a story. So there is a time in my life where I actually did not have a spiritual business. I did not have a spiritual business at the time. My business was more or less a freelancing marketing agency. And I used that business to really help me grow in my spiritual business as well. So when I did that, even when I had all these thoughts of scarcity, and I had no idea where that came from. I had so many thoughts of scarcity, you guys, like so many thoughts of scarcity. Just there's never enough. I would go on these Facebook groups. I would like market myself there. And I would get like all these clients, but then they would be low paying clients. And I had no idea why I was attracting so much bullshit, really. I didn't know why I was attracting so many low paying clients. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I was doing a lot of things correctly, but I had no idea why I would be attracting so many things. Hello, Apex Kid, how are you? I would had no idea why I would be attracting that, right? And it would be like a never-ending cycle. It would be a never-ending cycle with me, and I was like, I'm doing like all these things, I don't know what's happening. But then I would be attracting so much crap into my life, and it spilled over into my personal life, and I had no idea what was happening. I was attracting narcissistic clients, I was attracting narcissistic bosses, I was attracting narcissistic partners. And by the way, I really don't like using that word. I don't know why I use that word narcissist. I actually hate using that word so frivolously, because I do think it's more of a frivolous term. But I would say let's call it what it was: selfish partners, selfish bosses. I would be attracting a lot of selfish, emotionally immature, emotionally manipulative people into my life, and I had no idea why. Right? And it really wasn't until I actually dove deep into the law of attraction that I got the sense of, wait a minute, if everything's a mirror, if everything is a mirror, things would be mirrored back to you, right? Things would be ultimately mirrored back to you. So I was tolerating it. My nervous system was so safe in that stuff. My nervous system was safe. It was safe being in that crap, basically. And it really wasn't until maybe a year ago that I realized, hey, this needs help. It needs help. So I worked through this. I worked through this whole aspect, and yeah, now I am able to teach people and tell people about this. So yeah, if you're in here, let me know, and say hi. And this is what I would tell myself. I would alchemize my money story first, because you cannot scale on a business built on a foundation of unworthiness. A cracked foundation is what I would call it. My lower chakras were so shot, they were screwed. They were screwed with. They were like, it was like a mess in there. And I wasn't really able to see chakra. I've always been able to see chakras in people, but I wasn't able to see it in the way that I see it right now for a long time. I was always able to see auras. I was always able to see chakras. I was always able to see where the energy was at and where it could be going, but I wasn't able to pinpoint it until maybe 3 or 4 years ago, which is crazy, right? So I would tell myself, alchemize the whole money story. Stepping into your power as a spiritual entrepreneur requires you to go deep within. And these are the steps that I took. 1, I named my inherited money story. So what is your inherited money story? This is all in your root chakra. Your root chakra is all about that inherited money story. What was the story that my ancestors wrote for me? What was the story that wasn't allowed to be, that I had that wasn't mine to carry? Right? And I wrote a new money vow that begins with me. I create a new money story, right? I wrote it down. I journaled it. I was like, okay, this is what I can do now. I wrote my money story out, and I say, this ends with me. Transmuting energy starts when you separate their survival from your sovereignty. Okay. 2, I anchored my worth daily. I began each morning by saying, I'm worthy of wealth that feels easy. I always looked into the mirror. A lot of people like to shit on mirror work. A lot of people like to, shit on crap on it. But it works. There's a reason why it works. Okay. There's a reason why a lot of celebrities do this in the mirror. And it means it might be because they're narcissists, but a part of it is because that stuff actually does work, right? Speaking to yourself positively in the mirror. I am worthy of wealth, right? So keeping a small promise to myself every day, pouring that love back into me, spending at least a couple hours each morning on me has helped me so much. And then being in that space to allow myself to be of service to others. So taking my morning walks, doing nervous system regulation, doing somatic work every morning, all of those things have helped me really regulate my nervous system and actually hold the space for real wealth. And that all begins with the root chakra too. Root chakra, otherwise known as Muladhara chakra, that is the inherent space for all things wealth related. So when you go into the Muladhara chakra, it represents stability, it represents foundational wealth, it represents everything that everybody could want in a business, right? Bringing that money in, that foundational wealth in your business. So what does that look like? You can also write that down. That's also a journaling prompt for you too. You are definitely honoring that as you rewire your nervous system. All right. And this is a huge part, rewiring the nervous system around money and wealth. Such a huge part to your growth, right? And I started seeing switches and changes and things like that once I started doing that, right? And this is what I tell a lot of newer entrepreneurs too, people who are just starting out with their business and people who just want to become an influencer and like have all this stuff. So first of all, if you're don't become an influencer, be that person that people come to you with. That's like, I hate using that term like, oh, I want to become an influencer. I'm like, and I want to tell myself, but are you that person already that people can, that you can be of influence to people? Because being an influencer is totally different than like being somebody of influence. You know what I mean? You want to be a somebody of influence, not an influencer. And like a lot of people don't know the difference. And it's really disappointing whenever I see people say like, I want to be an influencer, I want to be an influencer. And I'm like, you don't really want to be an influencer. You want to be somebody of influence. Right? So that is also another topic. That's another video for another day. Right? Because I want to like, I don't want to tell people like, don't become an influencer. And like, first of all, the age of the influencer is dying. Like, if you want to be that person that just constantly just puts products in people's faces, you know, that don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Don't be one of those people. Okay. Like, I mean, here's the thing. I've done it. I have actually gotten sponsored by people before. That's fine. It's fine to be sponsored by people. Don't have every post in your face about creating an ad. And this is why you see those posts on social media that says social media is dying. Well, social media is dying because of those people, right? Social media is dying because of that. Be a part of the new change. Be a part of the new earth of social media. That's what I tell my clients. Be a part of the new earth. Don't be part of the old earth. All right. I let my prices tell my truth. I raised a price. My one-on-one coaching program used to be 3,700 with extended payment plans. Now it's 5,555 to work with me. And, you know, there is a payment plan option for that. But I stuck to my guns about a couple of things with that. There is some rules I have around all of that, because here's the thing. You don't want to price yourself down too much, right? You don't want to price yourself down too much, because once you do that, everything else starts getting diluted, and you know, you realize you're not going to be showing up for that person in the same way that you will. And I am of the opinion of, you know, the higher you raise your prices, the higher caliber you get of people. So, and I know many coaches that have done this, they've raised their prices and they shot up. And they shot up and started getting a lot of people around a lot of value. And I'm like, 3,000. And I was like, wow, 3,700 is really low for what I do. Really fucking low for what I do. Right? It's really low. And I'm like, I am changing lives here. Like the thing is that I am actually changing lives here. I'm actually doing something that's like insane. Like I know for a fact that if they have not met me at that moment and they have not worked with me, they would not be on the path that they are now. Like, my client would not have wrote all those books, and she wouldn't have written all those books which I got acknowledged in. One of my other clients would not have gotten like 10,000 subscribers after doing all of this like intuitive work on her, you know, practically overnight. She got it overnight. She got it overnight. She wouldn't have gotten 10,000. There's another client that wouldn't have gotten $10,000 in bonds, you know, working with me. She wouldn't have gotten like all of this stuff. And all my clients wouldn't have gotten all these wins. Every single client that I've had their lives changed. like it's transformational, which is why I call myself an intuitive transformational coach now. I used to call myself a chakra um, alignment strategist, but I'm like, yeah, this is chakra alignment is what I do, but like I'm transforming. I'm like creating lives. I'm creating lives, transforming lives. And like that does come at a higher like price point. So um yeah, like that is the truth, that is the truth that I had. And I created a sacred reciprocity fee to honor the energy that I'm now in, because it is like a lot of work for me. I used to be like a social media manager strategist before I had my business. I had this business. I had a social media strategy freelancer agency. I actually did have a team at one point. So I'm like, and you know, I pitched to a lot of people. I pitched to this company, this huge makeup company one time that, I mean, I actually got on a call with them. I had like closer relationships with them. You know what I mean? And something would happen, and then like COVID happened, you know, like COVID would happen or something like that would happen, where I was just like, oh, this isn't what I'm meant to do, so what am I meant to do, like that sort of thing. But I would also like get a lot of people on my ear, oh, you should be just charging $200 for that, for 7 days of content. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm creating content 7 days for $200 a month. $200 a month, you guys. And you know what, that $200 is a boatload to somebody in India, right? um but it's nothing compared to what I actually do, right? So that's something that I had to come up with, right? So anyways, yeah, tell me below, what do you feel like, what are some beliefs that you held in your head? Tell me below. Because here's the thing, your business can only expand as your self-worth grows deep. And that is also what I've learned too. And if you feel guilty charging, if you fear having success, if you feel like there is some sort of invisible block around money that you just can't get through, I have a masterclass. This masterclass is for you. This masterclass is free. It's called Rooted in Wealth. I'm going to show you exactly how to identify money trauma in your root chakra, release ancestral financial patterns using somatic alchemy, and reprogramming your energy to attract abundance naturally. This isn't just money mindset, it's energetic alchemy. And I'm going to give you a powerful process to transmute scarcity into magnetic abundance. Okay? Best of all, it's free, it's complimentary, so please join now. The link is in the description box or in the caption. All right, I will see you guys all there. It's this, and the masterclass is this Saturday. So I made sure not to do it on Thanksgiving or on Black Friday. It's going to be on Small Business Saturday, which is exciting. You want to support a small business, come to this masterclass, okay? Small Business Saturday and 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I am going to be teaching it live. All right, I'm going to be teaching it live, all right? Yes, please register using that link in the description box or in the caption. I will see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I really, really, really appreciate every single person that came on and that is watching the replay. And by the way, if you guys are interested in services, anything like that, go to the luminaalchemy.com. I actually have a bunch of, hold on, let me actually put my link in bio here. Link in bio. All right. If you go to the link in bio here, You'll actually be able to see all the things that I offer. I do have Reiki sessions available. I do work with individuals and entrepreneurs on their business energy and on their current energy, right? I also have a soul aligned chakra session, a 90-minute soul aligned chakra session that where I work with people, like working with their energy, working with their chakras that I see. I also see blocks, you guys. I also see shadows inside the chakras that is blocking them. The mindset blocks that's blocking them, right? And then what I do is I help you shift that. I shift that out of you and I coach you out of that, right? And so you can actually create that dream life, that dream business, dream life, dream career, all those things that you want in your life. I actually help you create it. And of course, I have a lot of freebies in that link right there. I have a lot of freebies. I have a free podcast. I have a free course called Switch the Energy of Your Life. Over 200 people have downloaded that already. Love every single person there that has downloaded that. Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that have great experiences off of that as well. I also have a masterclass, like I said, masterclass coming up November 29th, 2 p.m. That link is there. I also have a course that is pretty much ready to go at this point. And if you want to get in on it, please let me know. Go to that link. You can also get it now. That link is there too. The early bird is on there too. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you. Please have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys all there. I will see you guys there in the masterclass if you want to attend. Thank you guys. Mwah. Take care. Bye.